Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a couple of days, but damn it all, if I don't have one hell of a replay for you all today. This one, again, is one of my own, but it's a doozy. It's a 3v3 on Lipferdum. It's a map I don't see too much. I quite like it a lot. Not even just because this is a great replay, but it's got some cool vantage points and stuff. So, but let's get right into it with the defenders. Myself as Nabatea. We have AMC Shocker as Seleucid, and Dr. Patience as Misacely. We have Freddy NKA. Yeah, Freddy and NKA as Carthage. Lelek 666666 as Rome. And Nond NOND underscore Varanod as Egypt. Let's do let's just do the army comps real quick. So we'll start with Rome, work our way around Egypt and Carthage, because Carthage did something that I didn't actually notice when I played this. So it's a little interesting, but here we are. All right, so this is a match that I hosted on higher funds, so you'll see some more top-tier infantry, so to speak. And so Rome has 4 units of Triarii on the towers, which not something that I would necessarily do, but there it is. 1, 2, 3 units of Evocati, 3 units of Armored Legionaries, 2 units of Eagle Cohort, and then 3 Praetorian Guard. Looks like he has 3 auxiliary and Syrian archers, and his general is the general's bodyguard. He also has one of the big old onagers over here. Egypt is bringing with him, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 Royal Thorax Swordsmen. Looks like 1, 2... Only 2 thorax swords. Looks like 2 Galatians, 2 Galatian Royal Guards. 2 units of Peltist, and another unit of Royal Thorax Swordsmen is general. 2 units of Peltist, unit of Ptolemaic Cav. You all know how I feel about Egyptian cavalry on attack. Unit of Thorio Spears. 1, 2, only 2 units of Cretans. Interesting. And 2 2 Nubian bowmen. And looks like 1 unit of Thorax pikes is what I see. You'll have to forgive my camera work. I managed to slice my finger the other day with a butcher block bread knife, and I got a big thick bandage on it, so I'm kind of all thumbs, so to speak, when it comes to moving the camera around with the keyboard. So Carthage has with them big old onager boy here. 2 mercenary noble fighters, very scary. Whoo, they're fucking chevron, silver chevron, single chevron, single silver chevron. Sally sells she shells by the seashore. Thank you very much. Looks like 5 units of Libyan infantry, triple bronze chevron. Oh, we've got 3 more, so 9 units, right? No, that's not. Jesus, math was never my strong suit. Don't laugh at me, okay? Stop. I know you are. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 units of Libyan infantry. General's bodyguard. Wow, what with the general's bodyguard? Okay. And a unit of the African elephants, and then 3 mercenary Cretan archers. And then they're doing something interesting way over here. He has 2 Carthaginian cav, and I'm pretty sure you can't. I don't think this is traversable. So maybe he thought it was. I'm not sure. Anyway, getting into the defenders, we got Misacely over here. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 units of Desert Cohort. Pretty scary. Looks like 2 Numidian Noble Infantry. He's got 2 of the heavy skirmishers over here. His general is the Numidian Noble Cav. They also double as a skirmisher unit, which I didn't really realize, but I guess he's technically breaking the 1-2-4 rule. And 2 units of the Tribal Slingers, which are silver chevroned, single silver chevron. Seleucid is bringing with him 2 Royal Peltasts, 1 Silver Shield Swordman, which is his general. 2. All right, so 4 Royal Peltasts, 2 Pikemen, which are triple bronze chevrons. He has 3 or 4 rather of the Syrian heavy and oh my god. All right, Syrian heavy archers. Stop laughing, please. 1, 2, 3 units of the Thorio spears. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. 1, 2, 3 Silver Shield Swordsmen. And then 1, 2, 3 Thorax Swords. Now myself, I have 4 Rakim Palace Guard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Nabatean Axe Warriors, correct? Yeah. And they're single silver chevroned up. And then 4 of the Noble Swordsmen, they're single bronze. And then 4 of the heavy Nabatean Archers. And then my general, way back over here, is the Nabatean Noble Cav. And then I got this guy right here, tiny little Eastern Onager guy. Which, for those of you that don't know, if you have the Desert Factions DLC, Creative Assembly forgot to write out the code that allows factions, or I should say that denies factions the ability to bring in Onager units like this, artillery units like this. So, I mean, if I was Seleucid, I could bring in a Scorpion, but nothing bigger than this. But Kush, Saba, Nabatea, I think someone else, I don't remember exactly who. I think there were 4 factions in that DLC. They can actually bring, Misacely, one of my teammates. They can actually bring in Eastern Onager. And this guy right here, we're going to try and keep an eye on him and pay attention because he does one magical thing. That's pretty freaking amazing. So anyway, let's press play and get into this. So we got the siege towers moving forward here. We got a nice little defensive perimeter. Egypt, I figured, they have an artillery unit, I think, right? I believe. Did I miss that? Yeah, right here. Little tiny guy. So he's going to start knocking down some of these walls over here. And so it looks like one of my guys got like knocked back a little bit. When I eventually pull these guys back and reform. Oof, yeah. Starting to take some hits. Back over here, Rome's just kind of slowly but surely pushing up. Looks like he's probably going to go. Yeah, he's going for the Roman heavy onager. Not a bad thing to go for. Getting some good shots. I think he manages to burn down a couple, but doesn't manage to get all of them. We do have deployables here. I did bring them with me, and I set them up here. I know some people don't like them. I usually only bring them occasionally. And then I noticed that Seleucid seemed like he had also brought some over here. But he only brought sharpstone beds, where I brought some stakes. So I've decided to move my units to either side here and wait for this breach to open up, and then I'll just set them up on either side as a nice little kill box, because the Nabatean Axe Warriors do get javies. The Noble Swordsmen don't. Rome is still pushing up here. Slowly but surely. Carthage, meanwhile, back over here. What is this cav doing? Yeah, it looks like he's... I don't know. I guess he's trying to He probably thought he could get behind here, but I'm almost positive that you can't. Because then there would be a wall here if that were the case. Which actually, that might be kind of cool if that was the case, if there was a wall here. Actually, I wonder if you can Vanguard deploy units over here. That would be interesting. I'm going to have to run some tests and find out. All right, here we go. We got Carthage hitting the walls. Seleucid's going to answer them with some thorax swords against some Libyan infantry. Although the Libyan infantry is chevroned up, so they'll probably have a little bit of a better time. Meanwhile, over here, Rome's still making his way downtown, walking fast. Egypt really took their time over here. They spread out. I don't know if they knew exactly what they were going to do. I'm not sure. I set up my Rakim Palace Guard right down over here. Threw them up in the shield screen. That means they can't move, but their armor and melee defense is boosted. So their armor's originally 115, but with the shield screen, it bumps up to 127. The melee defense goes up to 187, as opposed to, or 187. Jesus, could you imagine? As opposed to 59, it goes up to 87. So now we have some engagement over here. For me, I probably would have had some Thorio spears over here to throw up into the back of these Libyan infantry, just to really pepper them down and give the thorax swordsmen a bit of a better chance. Looks like they managed to knock down the gate. I mean, they took some heavy losses here, and they're just going to continue to lose some more. Again, if for me, I probably would have contested this a little bit more, but he's just going to let them in. So that's the Lucid strategy. That's a strategy. Everyone plays different. Hi, puppy. How are you doing? You're not getting the attention you want upstairs. So it looks like Seleucid is going to fall back. They managed to actually destroy this tower. That's interesting. I didn't notice that before. Yeah, it looks like they're going to fall back. Again, I would have had the Thorio spears over here set up just to be able to, you know, throw their jabs into the back of the Libyan infantry. But Carthage is just going to start moving up in force. Egypt's still taking their time. And now you can see here I've set up. You can see some of the bolts coming across and firing in. Rome has finally landed his troops. Stately is kind of just letting them take the walls. That's okay. I mean, he has a defensive perimeter, so to speak, set up. Looks like they're going to try and fire in on these slingers. Managed to get a couple kills off, but I mean, if I would probably be focusing in on, I don't know, probably a wall section somewhere. I'd get my troops off and maybe go for this wall right here instead. Just so you have like another point to assault. So he's going to start moving his slingers up. I'd probably get the desert cohort out of there too. Looks like the Syrian heavy archers are going to move up. They'll probably start firing in. Egypt still hasn't done anything yet. And now I'm moving over my noble swords because... why did I move my noble swords over here? I figured... this is why. Okay, because Egypt is coming over here with his towers. Carthage, in the meantime, is just waltzing right in. Seleucid has fallen back once more to get out of the range of this arrow tower. Nothing yet with the onager. Just holding it in reserve, waiting for the right moment to be able to use it. Seleucid's still falling back, his thorax swords. And back over here, now we got the Syrians. Haven't started firing yet, but they will. Meanwhile, Masacely, I believe, has used... Yeah, it looks like he used his jabs, unfortunately. I would have taken them off auto-fire, so they wouldn't have used them needlessly. And now here we go. The Syrians are starting to fire in on the slingers, it looks like. And they're a good target to go for. They're going to melt real quick against the Syrians. And Rome's just kind of hanging out on the walls. They're just chilling. Meanwhile, back over here... Carthage is still just starting to file his troops in. I don't know why he's... There we go, yeah. He's coming through the gates. And this isn't hidden, so they know that this is here. But they'll come in and just kind of blob up. And you can imagine what starts to happen. Meanwhile, Egypt, again, I don't know what Egypt's doing. They're just kind of, I mean, of course, they might be a new player, so they don't know exactly what's going on. Looks like they're moving up their Greek onager. Has managed to get 6 kills so far. Nubian bowmen are moving up. Egypt has moved some of his Royal Thorax swordsmen over here to assist Rome. And these desert cohort are just getting shot down. Peppered. But, I mean, it's a great target to go for, absolutely. But they're just wasting all of their ammunition on these 3 units. Which, you know, it's going to take a while for them to actually, like, dwindle these units down because they have a pretty decent armor rating, 90. So it's going to take them a minute. Back over here, Egypt has managed to land some of his units up on the walls. Got another one coming down. I managed to squeeze all of my axe warriors as close to the walls as possible because it'll be harder for them to throw their jabs down. Got a unit of Royal Peltis here. Unfortunately, mine start to throw their jabs up. I think I managed to actually catch them quick enough so that they wouldn't waste them. So now I'm moving these guys on either side of the stairway down here because I don't want them to come down completely uncontested. My Masacely ally has his desert cohort here. I didn't want them to get charged in on the side. Back over here, I moved over some of my Rakim Palace Guard to aid the Thorio Spear. I'm going to charge them in because they have a pretty good charge bonus, 30. So it's not bad. Against these Libyan infantry, they're going to do pretty good. Throw them up into shield screen, and now they're just going to stay there. He pulls back his Thorio Spear, and he's going to probably turn them around so he can start throwing jabs into this column here, which is really odd, actually. I don't know why he has it like that, but it is what it is. To each their own, you know? So, back over here, Egypt's still not really contesting me at all in any way, shape, or form. They are throwing down their jabs at my noble swords, unfortunately. So I'm going to lose a couple here and there, but that's okay. My Nabatean heavy archers, I think they start to fire in on these thorax. Nope, actually, they're going for the Royal Peltas, which is a great target to go for because they don't do well against arrow fire. Or any type of missile fire for that matter. Back over here, you can see the Syrians have finally dwindled down these cohorts. But I mean, at what cost? You know what I mean? I mean, these guys have 3 kills. They probably still have most of their ammo left. These guys still have some ammo. But it probably isn't a lot. So at this point, the Sacely is just going to decide to... And you'll see it shortly. He's going to say, you know what, screw it. I have to pull these guys back because I'm just getting peppered down. I'm not going to have a good time. So over here, I managed to set up my axe warriors. I'm going to, if I remember correctly, I bring them up a little bit so I can throw some jabs into the back. Over here, Egypt has Royal Thorax swords and Galatian Royal Guard. They're just kind of hanging out up there. Not really doing much of anything. Landed some more troops down over here. So Egypt's really kind of spreading himself thin, sort of, as an assist to his 2 allies. But I'm actually managing to show these Royal Peltis off the field, which is huge. Now they're charging in with some Galatian Royal Guard. I was going to answer them with my noble swords and my Nabatean axe warriors. I stopped firing with my archers so I wouldn't get any friendly fire in. They stopped breaking, but they're still going to lose shortly. And then they just completely charged their Galatian Royal Guard back. I would have just, you know, as soon as I had engaged their Peltis, I would have come right back in with the Galatian Royal Guard if I was Egypt. Back over here, still not a lot of action. Rome's just kind of chilling out. They've definitely used their jabs, their Pila. And it looks like Rome's just starting to move around. Masacely has to shift around some troops to answer. We're still just having a pretty decent time over here. Haven't had to use any other, pull up any other troops. The Royal Peltis have been shown off the field of battle. He was about to charge in his Royal Galatian Guards again. But as you can see, I have my 2 Nabatean Axe Warriors facing in this direction and this direction. So they were going to throw some jabs, and then whichever way that they were going to charge, my noble swords were going to come in right after them. So over here, Egypt's he's moved away his Royal Thorax swords. Over here, my Rakim Palace Guard getting beat up, but I mean, they're they're holding. Carthage using fire. They used fire arrows a lot in this match, I have to say, which is strange. I mean, not like a bad tactic, but still, I mean, he's accidentally breaking his own Libyan infantry. So far, my Rakim Palace Guard up to 171 kills. Really putting in work. They've essentially have already paid for themselves. So if they break at this point, then it's not that big of a deal. But it's not something that I actually want them to do. So again, back over here, Egypt's just not really doing much of anything. They're really taking a slow approach. I've shifted over some troops again. Looks like somebody came down here. I'm not sure who. Or actually, I might have gone and went to go chase them, but I stopped. So now you can see Sacely starting to shift around some more troops. And still, they're wasting ammo on these 3 units of Desert Cohort. They're still coming in with the... Are they? Yeah, actually, they might be out of ammo. 78 kills, because it doesn't say that they're firing anymore. Meanwhile, the Greek onager from Egypt is taking shots off. Not really sure what he's shooting at. Seleucid has decided to come in with his thorax swords. I managed to get my Rakim Palace Guard out of there. They have 64 men left, but they got 176 kills, so they really put their showed their worth. They're gonna fall back their Cretans because it's just getting shot up by this arrow tower. And I mean, if you look at the range of this, they have, his Peltists are in here, his Galatian Royal Guard is in here, the other Cretans are in here, and they're just gonna get shot up. And if that's the approach that he wants to take, so be it. Let him get peppered down like that. Egypt again has shifted some more troops over here to assist. Looks like Carthage is trying to get his onager into the gates. I don't know if they can actually fit through there. Looks like they're having a hard time. Still haven't done anything with this guy yet, but you will see. You will see. All right, so back over here. Looks like they started to break a little bit, but they managed to muster up the courage. Only 21 guys left. But, they're wasting all this ammo on these guys. I mean, the one has 97 kills, the other 69. Nice. And the other one has 8. Yeah, it looks like the onager's done for. And again, Egypt still has yet to pull in. So I don't know if they were just trying to... Maybe their strategy was to put an extreme amount of pressure on either side and then force me to fall back so that Egypt could just pour in with the troops that he has here. Again, I'm not sure, though. Started to move some of my Nabatean heavy archers because I started getting shot at by the Cretans. And I didn't want to lose any more of them. Looks like, yeah, he's trying to take some shots. Managed to get a good volley off of my noble swords. Got 10 kills off of that. But still have 2 Nabatean heavy archers and a Rakim Palace Guard hidden here, thanks to these buildings. Over here, I've thrown in some of my noble swords just to deal with these Libyan infantries and help Seleucid out with this thorax swords because they're starting to lose. These guys, they have pretty good melee defense. I think it's originally 60, but because it's chevroned up, it's bumped up to 62. So these guys are a pretty solid unit. The only thing that I don't like about them is they don't get Pila or javelins. Still over here, Egypt's not really doing anything. They're just kind of hanging out, getting shot at by the arrow tower over here. Over here again, still, I mean, it's, an arrow tower. It's going to shoot this way, that way, and every way. So it's, I mean, if we could see how many kills that this has gotten, it's probably quite a few. And over here now, this is the point where he said, I gotta fall back. I'm just getting peppered down here, and I can't afford to lose any more troops, which I don't blame him. I mean, in reality, this him standing here and just letting a unit get shot by these Syrian archers, in the long run, helped us out, because the Syrians, late game, end up having absolutely no ammo left, and they wasted the majority, if not all of it, on heavily armored targets. So he's just going to pull back, and we're going to set up. He's going to set up a defensive position. So over here, looks like he's just going to charge in his slingers. They might be out of ammo, even if they're not. You know, it's a depleted unit. He's just going to do something to try and... Oh, no, never mind. He's pulling him back. I lied. So over here, Armored Legionaries against some Desert Cohort. Looks like the Armored Legionaries are actually having a tough time of it. Same with the Eagle Cohort. They might be having a better time, actually, though. I mean, melee attack is 47 and weapon damage is 35, but they have great melee defense and armor. Actually, they're the same melee defense and armor as the... Oh, let's zoom in here real quick. As their Desert Cohort. Actually, their melee defense is a little... Oh, they're chevroned up. Oh, yeah, never mind. The Eagle Cohort definitely better off. 50 and 35, and then 47 and 35. So, yeah, the Eagle Cohort's going to clean them up pretty quickly. Looks like he's going to send in his depleted unit, Desert Cohort, to assist one or the other. Meanwhile, he's just going to keep falling back. Back over here, Egypt still hasn't come in. It looks like they're shifting their troops over. Back over here, they're like jockeying around these Royal Thorax swords here, there, and everywhere. Managed to move my onager over, and I started firing manual and regular fire down into this blob over here. At one point, come on. Yeah. So that one was the manual. This one's manually firing, and this is a great spot to set up if you choose a desert faction to set up an onager and just to fire down when they come in, because when you're manually firing and you got like that arc, you can just get it like perfectly where it lands perfectly because it's already on a high up, so it's arcing downwards. So it's a great spot, but I end up stop firing because I don't want to completely waste all of the ammo. I want to try and save it as much as I can. And they're going to start coming forward to assault this choke point here. Meanwhile, they brought their elephants over, managed to get my Nabatean heavy archers over here to fire a shot, and they charge into some of these Cretans, and they're just absolutely melting. Look at that number drop. Oh my god. I'm glad I caught that. So yeah, they, in my opinion, they brought in their elephants too soon. Thorax swords are breaking, unfortunately. They're probably going to shatter completely, especially against this Libyan infantry. Over here, this must have been like a misclick or something, because they only have 3 kills. And they came down and got stuck in against my Rakim Palace Guard, unfortunately. And over here, Rome's going to start just making his way downtown, walking fast. So again, we're going to end up setting up another defensive perimeter over here. So I start to fall back my archers and some of my units, because I realize at this point, you know, Rome is getting in, and we have to fall back, because if we don't, and we fall back too much, then they're just going to have clear avenues to get around, because you can sneak down this way, come around this building, and come over here. And that would be bad news bears. So in an effort to stem the Libyan infantry, I'm going to charge in my 2 noble swords. The Historio spears definitely still have ammo left. At least this one definitely does. So he could have sent up Historio spears to help over here. Mercenary Cretans are going to fire in on the noble swords. They're probably going to end up getting some friendly fire, unfortunately. I start taking shots at the elephants. Just missed one. I was trying to get them to go crazy so that they would charge into the back of the Libyan infantry over here. And then I thought, oh, look, there are these units right here. And the firing arc was perfect, that it was landing on top of the battlements up here. So I just start firing down into his Cretans and his Libyan infantry, and then the round would bounce off the tower and smash into here, and then I was just getting some really great kills. So far we're up to 25 kills. So again, I'm not constantly using this to the point where I exhaust all my ammo right away. I'm taking my time with my onager and picking my shots carefully to, you know, fire on what I want. Looks like Carthage is using his onager to start firing in on our troops over here. But luckily, you know, we have these buildings here that kind of prevent them from really getting a good angle. But I want you to keep in mind to really remember the fact that, you know, his shots are hitting these buildings and whatnot, and that some buildings in this game, like this one and probably this one, are destructible. So now I'm falling back. Fortunately, the Akeem Palace Guards are getting shot in the rear. That's okay, though. Cretans are up to 20 kills. Egypt's really starting to pour in. I started to move Nabatean Axe Warriors over here I was going to try and set up a front to hold this, but they wouldn't have held. They're good, but they're not great. So I decided, yeah, we're just going to fall back. Seleucid has now moved over his, how many Royal Pelta, right? He has 1, 2, 3, 4 Royal Peltas and a Silver Shield over here to now stem the tide to help Masacely stop Rome from advancing forwards. 2 fresh Nabatean Axe Warriors back here, ready to go. Onager's still just hanging out. I think at one point I started taking some shots at their noble fighters, but where they were, it was tough to get a good angle because the roof of this. Oh, yeah, there we go. So yeah, we're actually getting into some of the mercenary noble fighters. Managed to kill 2 guys, and some of the general's bodyguard too. Managed to get some more, so that's good. And meanwhile, over here, it's just kind of sit and wait. Sit and wait while everyone jockeys around troops. They're putting a lot of pressure over here. Looks like I fire. Still trying to fire in and get some angles on the noble fighters. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Look at that one. Whew. That was a good one. Managed to kill quite a lot. Their onager looks like, 144 kills. Not bad for the onager. And then, yeah, I stopped firing. Because, again, I don't want to waste all the ammo. So, again, Carthage using fire arrows. But it's just going to affect his own troops, too. And he only has 2 of his and then 1 of Egypt's backing, fighting over here. And the noble swordsman, the Silver Shield, and another noble swordsman fighting against these 3 units are not going to have a tough time, but it's still going to be a brawl. So now we're really starting to fall back here. Because I think they're starting to move up. Their noble fighters are still just chilling out over here. Yeah. Egypt has finally come down off of the walls. Over here, Seleucid putting his general up on the walls. Not sure exactly why. They're just out of range. Actually, no, they're not. They're still within range of at least this arrow tower. So he should really get his guy back further. Sacely has set up a defensive position right here, so nobody can sneak through, and over here as well. And now the fighting's really going to start to get bloody. 30 minutes, 29 seconds left. Guys, if you're liking this, you know the drill. Smash that like button, leave a comment, share with your friends and family, and everybody else that you think would enjoy this. And don't forget to sub to the channel so you get some more top tier content. So now I'm going to start moving over my Nabatean heavy archers to deal with these Cretans because they just keep on using fire arrow to try and demoralize us as much as possible. And now, yeah, they're gonna start taking charge. they're going to start taking shots from my guys. So, starting to jockey around some troops. Egypt's going to come in. Going to use this unit of Rakim Palace Guard to back up the Thorax Swords over here. I managed to get some cav in. Masasli has a nice little spot for his slingers. They should have a good angle on anybody that comes down over here. And then Carthage is eventually brought around his Carthaginian cavalry, because I guess he figured that he realized that he couldn't get around there. Come around the back door, so to speak. So elephants are back in. Libyan infantry going to charge in against these silver shields, but I don't think they're going to have a great time against these guys. They're just going to absolutely wreck these Libyan infantry. Started to move up some of my Nabatean Axe warriors so they could use their javs. I have these guys down in sealed screen, and they're just going to take the brunt of the javs from these Galatians, or Thorax Swords rather, I'm sorry. Which is fine. You know what? Because that's their armors in shield screen is 127, so they can manage to take most of the damage. Now he's going to throw up his thorax in the shield wall, and then I have my axe warriors. These guys are out. I'm pretty sure of their javs, but these guys still have quite a few left, so they're going to throw them in there. And then he's going to pull back. I don't know why he pulled back. He's got his pikes over here. Managed to send his Cretans off the field of battle. They'll probably come back, though. Meanwhile, I'm starting to move my onager because I want to get a better angle. Back over here, Rome's still just kind of taking their time. Probably, again, letting Carthage put as much pressure over here as possible. But Carthage doesn't really have a lot left. They still have their two noble fighters. They have one unit of Libyan infantry over here. An extremely depleted unit here. They have their elephants. Cretans that have a fair amount of... these are that's actually probably broke and came back. Another unit of Cretans that are extremely depleted. They're still firing. Again, using fire arrow, which is... it's very interesting. Interesting. Oh, man. How do you word? So back over here, I'm cycling in and out troops. Actually, I columned up because I saw that it looked like that this was enough of a gap for me to get through. And that enough of the Thorax Swords were wrapped around here that I could actually manage to get through. But they ended up getting stuck, unfortunately. But now you can see that these Thorax Swords, they're about to break. Going to charge my Nabatean Axe Warriors in. They get a pretty decent charge bonus, I believe. 20, and then they have Frenzy, too. So that bumps it up a little bit. So now there is actually a gap here. But now we got the noble fighters coming up. Elephants coming in, but they managed, the Thorio Spears managed to drive them berserk. And they're just, absolutely destroying them. And there go the elephants. Whether he used the kill elephant command or the Thorio Spears here managed to do that, they were gone, done for. So over here, my Rakim Palace Guard, unfortunately, they're going to start to break, but they managed to get 182 kills. So they did their due diligence, so to speak, and then they managed to come back. Over here, Egypt's trying to be sneaky, but I mean, like, that's kind of, Masasli was going to answer him. It's kind of paying off, though, because he's moving. He's forced to move his troops around, but then he's going to get shots on the side, so he pulls back. Egypt over here is being real sneaky, getting a great angle on my archers, which I didn't realize. Although, I don't know if they still have archers, or they still have archers. They still have ammo. So I'm going to pull them back immediately. Back over here, we still have these Syrians who are full. They haven't been used at all yet. So keep that in mind, okay? These Syrian archers still haven't used any of their ammo. So even if... and then the Numidian skirmishers over here still have ammo. And these tribal slingers still have ammo, even though they got peppered down a lot. So the only units of range that have really been getting used have been my Nabatean heavy archers so far. And I'm not saying that in like, oh, there's fucking guys aren't helping me. I'm saying that like we still have a lot of ranged unit ammo left. Meanwhile, the attackers don't really have much. Because, let's see, his Syrian, look, his Syrians are engaged. I mean, these guys still have some ammo. And then over here, so Seleucid over here is a great angle with his Royal Peltas to fire down into these armored legionaries. Same with his general here. If he shifted his general over just a little bit, then well, he's actually getting some shots in, so that's not bad. Same over here. Although they probably, yeah, looks like they used up all their ammo. They're gonna get committed soon. Are these guys? Yeah, these guys are firing too. So they also have a pretty good angle in on these troops coming in. Back over here, my general's still just kind of chilling out. Brought back a unit of Rakim Palace Guard. Brought these guys up. See these guys moving over. Over here is just an absolute brawl. So I just keep on charging in, cycling units in left and right, trying to break this as quickly as we possibly can. Over here, again, noble swords up against some mercenary noble fighters, backed up by 2 Thurio spears. And realize if he had thrown these guys in the square formation, they'd probably be doing a little bit better. So Egyptian cavalry just got sent off the field of battle. These guys, oh no, they did still have jabs. Okay, I'd taken their auto fire off. I think that's what it was. So they're gonna fire in. Oh man, excuse me. I'm sorry. Thorax swords going up against some thorax swordsmen, Nabatea axe warriors, and royal thorax swords. Rakim Palace Guard just kind of chilling out over here. Looks like he's got some desert cohort going after these archers. I'm not going to catch them though, unfortunately. And then over here, I have some more Rakim Palace Guard going up against the royal thorax swordsmen, the desert cohort. I came over here to back up the desert cohort. Back over here, looks like the Royal Peltas are starting to get thrown in. They should do pretty well against these armored legionaries because they're just tanks in themselves. Well, I guess they're more like glass cannons, right? Since their melee defense and armor isn't terrific. Well, their armor's not terrible, but still. But they should do really, really well. Looks like these guys still have ammo. They're just waiting. Just waiting. Meanwhile, up here, these Triarii going up against the Silver Shield Swordsmen. They're just, and they have the back of the Arrow Tower too, so they're not going to have a good day whatsoever. Now, Syrians are actually smart, firing into the Royal Peltas. If I was Seleucid, I would have charged these guys in to back up the 3 units of Desert Cohort here because they're not having a great time so far. So yeah, he should have definitely thrown them in. Meanwhile, back over here, gonna start moving up some of my archers again to... I think either fire down on the Nubian bowmen or where are his pikes? There are his pikes. Oh, I fucking missed it. Okay, you see all these pikes right here? These are all pikes. One ball from the artillery came flying in when I manually fired it, hit this building, and I murdered half of his unit of pikes. I can't believe I missed that. Ugh. But it was, I kid you not, I swear to God, it was a full unit of pikes, and they melted down to 48 men. Oh, I can't believe I missed that. I'm so angry. And they don't even like get credit for the kill because there's this stupid building that broke. But yeah, I mean, they're over here. They're still in pike formation, so it's still going to be a tough fight, even though there's only 48 of them left. So yes, that's why I brought my archers over to fire in onto these pikes. Some of them still had fire shot on when I was going after their elephants. Seleucid has now sent up his 1 unit of Royal Peltas to help deal with the Romans. Sicily starting to fall back a little bit. Let's see, does he still have ammo? Yeah, he still has ammo. He still could fire in. I mean, he should, really. I can't believe I missed that. I'm so pissed. It was like the single greatest thing that I've ever seen in a Rome 2 battle. But now I kept coming over to my onager to see like if I could get any good shots down in over here. But it wasn't a good angle, so eventually you'll see they'll start to move over here onto this hill. Because I know eventually that we're going to be set up here and having to stem the tide, so to speak. So my general has charged through to help deal with the Ptolemaic cav over here. They lose some guys. I don't lose any on their initial charge because they didn't really get a great charge. But actually, I start to lose this fight, which is surprising. Even though, I mean, the melee defense is 22, so I guess it's not terrible, actually. But now I'm going to try and catch these Cretans unaware. But they notice and they pull back, and he starts to pull back his Ptolemaic cavalry, too, the last second. And now, yeah, now it's just, okay, we're going to try and pull back as much as we can here. But I'm going to set up a little bit of a defensive perimeter over here. So now you can see I'm going to start moving my artillery. It's going to come all the way down over here. Going to pull my archers back as well. Back over here. Seleucid. He's moved his Royal Peltas. Once again, I'm sure that they still have ammo. He should get them in there, really. Because look at this. Rome's starting to wrap around. That's no good. And his Silver Shield Swordman is still going up against these Ferrara. I'm surprised that they've managed... There we go. I'm surprised that they've managed to hold out that long against this unit. So I managed to catch the Cretan archers. I'm going to fall back my general. Where'd he go? Get a little rear charge in on these thorax swords. I was losing against the Ptolemaic cav. They're going to start to fire in, though, on my noble cav, which is not good. Not good at all. And then here we go. Ptolemaic cav's going to come in. Because they actually dispatched... they were fighting something over here, and they managed to dispatch them. So now I'm going to pull back my cavalry. But unfortunately, I did not realize that there are stakes here. So you can imagine what happens next. Now I'm going to pull back these Palace Guard. I'm going to throw in my Axe Warriors against the Libyan Infantry and Noble Fighters. I know it's a futile battle, but it's just I'm trying to hold them off as much as I possibly can here. And now it's just a mass retreat, trying to get these guys out of here. Same with these guys, and although we're just kind of like... I'm trying to get them out of here, but they end up getting caught by the Triarii, I'm pretty sure. And here we go. Unfortunately, my poor Rakim Palace Guard, because I didn't realize. And they just run right through. And they just... I didn't lose that many, thankfully, but still, it's just not the greatest thing in the world. So be aware of traps that your allies set up. Otherwise, you can run the risk of getting your dude stuck. So now it's a mass retreat. I'm just trying to get my guys out as quickly as I possibly can. So trying to save as many dudes as I possibly can. These guys over here, they're about to break. But they did their job. They did their due diligence. They held held them as long as I possibly could. So I can't really fault them for that. 14 minutes and 45 seconds left. I'm going to pull back these Rakim Palace Guard. They're actually losing against the Triarii, which I'm extremely surprised about. Probably because they were already kind of depleted, and this is basically an almost full unit. Back over here, Seleucid is still just managing somehow to hold against this tide. Now he's going to charge in his other Royal Peltis unit. General popped Raised Banner, so that increases the area of influence and melee defense for the units. Looks like the Tribal Slingers are trying to help out with these Triarii. And he's going to fall back a little bit with his Silver Shield Swordsman, which, I mean, I would just, you know, actually, maybe that's why he's falling back. If he actually kept falling back, because I'm sure they have an attack order on this unit. If he had kept falling back along the wall, then the Tribal Slingers would have had a better angle on the Triarii. So now it's just holding this point as much as we can. I got the Rakim Palace Guard again up here in shield screen just to hold back as much as I can and to take as many kills as possible. And still, here comes the artillery. And still, we have a metric boatload of ammo still left. Looks like these Royal Thorax Swordsmen going after these Desert Cohort. I mean, I guess it's a smart idea to get rid of them, but there's only 47 left. So what could they really do? You know. So Egypt's gonna come over. And now it's just, you know, literally an uphill battle. So these two Neptune number heavy archers still have ammo. I'm almost positive that they do. Yeah. So eventually they'll start firing into this blob here. And again, these units are just holding back Rome. And he really did an amazing job with what he was Seleucid, with what he was left with. And managing to hold back like all of Rome basically with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So now he should really charge forward his Royal Peltis here at this point, because these slingers are starting to break and these guys aren't going to last much longer. I can't believe these Triarii are still going. I mean, their morale is pretty high, actually, so I got to give them that. It's been boosted even more because of there we go. Now they're losing. So now here comes the Onager, and you can imagine what's going to happen next. So now over here, I'm starting to shift some troops over here because I know that this is going to eventually break, right? Still have 2 units of pikes on our side. And, you know, now the artillery is going to come really into play at this point. So here now we have these guys firing in. And there we go. And now it's going to start. You know, I don't really care about this unit at this point anymore. Again, they did their job. They basically paid for themselves. The archers also did their job. They're going to be here to hold these guys back while my artillery fires down into the blob that they're going to create. So I can just absolutely demolish them. Already up to 127 kills. And if you remember before, it was only up to like 68 or something like that. So, both units starting to break. Again, it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. They got 100 and they managed to come back, which is amazing. I can't believe it. The Rakim Palace Guard are probably one of my favorite units in the entire game. I've really come to like Nabatea quite a bit. Archers got 150 kills. They got almost 200. And then there they go. They're off to off the field of battle. But now they have another unit of Rakim Palace Guard who's completely fresh. I've only lost 2 men so far, and they got to deal with them now. Not only that, but they have 2 units of depleted Silver Shield Swordsmen, 2 Numidian Noble Infantry, 2 units of Pikemen, and an Onager that still has quite a bit of ammo left that they're going to have to deal with. And this guy he ends up getting so many kills. I mean, manually firing with an Onager is probably like the best thing on the face of the planet. Especially if you get a great angle like this where you like are guaranteed not to miss any shots. It's spectacular. So, back over here. Still, they're managing to hold. They finally broke that unit of Triarii, looks like. Silver Shield Swordsman down to 88 men. It's unfortunate. Tribal Slingers are probably out of ammo. No, they're just gonna get absolutely yeah, they're out of ammo. They're just gonna get destroyed. He's gonna try and get his Silver Shield Swordsman out of there as quickly as possible. These guys are winning against these Triarii naturally because they're spear units. And now we're gonna shift over units to where we need them. There was a lot of communication in this match too between my Masalian ally and myself. Seleucid didn't really communicate too much with us, and that's not a slight towards him because he did what he needed to do. I mean, over here, he basically just acted as a wall, and I ended up being more of like a support unit for him, shifting troops over to help hold these choke points to make sure that they didn't bust through too quickly. Still up to 161 kills. They haven't sent in anyone yet. He had brought his general around, and I was like, "Oh, come on, baby, I'm waiting for it." And then I fired 1 round, and he was like, "Nope, fuck that," and he went and hid behind this wall. So the Rakim Palace Guard over here is up to 79 kills, climbing steadily. These Nabatean heavy archers are out of ammo, most likely, and yeah, they're gonna start to break. They got 70 kills themselves. And meanwhile, these 2 guys over here, they have 66 and 84, and they still definitely have a fair amount of ammo. So Carthaginian Cav's going to get in behind these Royal Peltas, so they're definitely going to get sent off the field of battle. Let's see, do I start firing again? Nope, not yet. Starting to break these guys. Nubian Bowman definitely out of ammo. Yeah, I would have just thrown him in at this point. Rome, his Triarii over here is starting to lose for sure. 162 kills though, not bad. Not something that I would expect from Triarii. But, you know, my Rakim Palace Guard is just having a field day. And they're triple chevroned up. And they, initially, I don't think that they were chevroned at all. Maybe 1. So they managed to gain quite a bit of experience. Up to 121 kills already. 24, 25. Jeez. Just racking up the kills. Now Egypt's going to start bringing in some more of his troops. And now, yeah, at this point, I had said to the Seleucid player, like, hey, look, you gotta move your pikes over here. Like, Rome's definitely out of ammo, and we need them over here to stem this because we're not going to be able to hold back Rome with what we've got. So initially he brought 1 unit of pikes over here, another one through here. These guys over here, yeah, I think he's done. No, I'm going to start firing soon because he just brought his general in. Raised the banner, so the melee defense is going to go up on all these guys. But, you know, Rakim Palace Guard is just going to stand tall and hold the line. Meanwhile, I'm just going to start manually firing into this blob and absolutely annihilate these guys. I mean, could you imagine just like being here, just like, yeah, we can get this, we can win, and then boom, devastating. Up to 266 kills already. Oh my god, look at it climb. Definitely getting some friendly fire in, but again, that's okay. If I can manage to do enough damage here, Egypt's going to be no more. General over here is still just kind of hanging out. And these guys are just going to do so much work. And now, yeah, now it's just, okay, we can allocate all of our resources over here. It's like the Ptolemaic Cav tried to charge in on the Numidian Noble Cav, but these guys, they're ranged, but they also are really, really good as melee Cav. So they're going to manage to deal with these guys pretty quickly. So we're falling back here. Pikes are starting to move forward. Got the pikes over here, but they're just going to completely ignore us and start to just completely shift this way. Carthage has moved the rest of his troops over here as well. He's taken a very long walk, but they're all pretty fresh, it looks like. Egypt's Gen is still fighting the good fight. 339 kills of my Onager. I think at this point, I don't think it's out of ammo, but I stopped using it because I don't think I needed to use it anymore. King Palace Guard up to 212 kills so far. Managed to get themselves a silver chevron. And Seleucid at this point could charge in because now the Egyptian general is out of place. Now back over here, we're just trying to set up a line. Rome's up against the pikemen. They're going to have a bad day of it. You know, they don't have any ammo left. Sicely's moving his troops over to try and keep Carthage busy. Over here, we're just still kind of holding because I'm not sure what these guys are going to do over here. And back over here again, Egypt's still just fighting. They're winning, but it's only because my guys are facing the wrong way because he managed to get his guy through. Whether he pushed through or they just end up coming through, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. These guys are up to 231 kills now. That yeah, they're going to start to break, and that's going to be the end of Egypt. So at that point, I start to turn my Onager around and move them over here. Moving over some of my Nabatean Axe Warriors to help kind of combat against Carthage over here. I'm going to start to line them up over here because like this over here, like this hill area, part of it's traversable. I think it's really like up here where you can't move up the hill. So at this point, they've essentially boxed themselves in, and I told I'm moving these guys around to get shots in on them, and then I tell Seleucid, like, hey, move your pikes up, and get them in here to trap them in here, and I'll back you up with my Axe Warriors. And yep, there we go. My goal was to hopefully that they would be distracted enough that they wouldn't realize that his pikes were moving forward. And then we could just kind of hem them in here, and then that would be it. So over here is Noble Fighters in column formation. We're going to charge in against these guys. And I managed to... These guys still have... they have been used. They're fresh. And I managed to get them... surprisingly, the Cav pulled back. I mean, it's because of the Numidian infantry. But then I set up my Axe Warriors on the side like this, just so that they can throw their jabs in on the side of these Noble Fighters and just melt them. So over here, Rome noticed what was going on, and he set up his 2 units of Triarii. Not that it really matters. Yeah, he's going to charge them in, but it's not going to, against pikes, what's going to happen? Everyone knows what's going to happen when you charge in against pikes, right? So you can see, King Palace Guard, almost 300 kills, 253. They're going to start to move over to assist. Same with the Onagers. Seleucid over here is just kind of resting. I mean, I guess they definitely earned it. And now his 4 units of completely fresh Syrians are coming over here, and they're just going to start to rain down hell on Rome. And we're actually going to start to have mass breaking. And we actually end up getting somewhat of a chain route. 15 seconds left. And yeah, there we go. That's the end of it. So let's just fast forward the last little bit of it. And there you go. Costly victory. But a good one. Man, I'm so disappointed, though, that I missed that one artillery strike against the building that managed to take out all of those pikes. Oh, it was so amazing. All right, let's get into it. So we'll start with myself because I am self-centered. Almost 2,500 kills. My general only getting 21. Honors are getting 361 kills. Archers 150, 70, 67, 87. These two guys I like barely used throughout the entire match, and they had quite a bit of ammo left. Axe Warriors 110, 95, 82, 108, and 0 and 57. Again, these two guys were at the top of the hill. Noble Swords 52, 118, 193, and 92. And then my Palace Guard 206, 253, 189, and 198. AMC Shocker with 1,949 kills. His general getting 104. His Syrians not getting a lot, but because he held them back in reserve, and honestly, like that was a smart move because at the end of the game, I feel like that came in so clutch that constant arrow fire from those 4 units just demoralized Rome's units so much that they ended up breaking. So 60, 0, 45, and 5. His 2 units of pikes, 104 or 140 and 300. His 4 units of peltis doing really well, 192, 111, 90, and 224. His silver shield swordsman, 56, 167, and 203. And then his 3 units of thorax, 80, 106, and 143. And then his Thorio spears doing Thorio spear things, 66, 75, and 53. Dr. Patience coming in with 1,778 kills. His gen getting 60. His Nubidian skirmishers 27 and 54. His tribal slingers 38 and 38. That's funny. And then his desert cohort 67, 182, 5. This is probably the unit that got completely annihilated and shot down. 72, 164, 110, 87, 67, 221, 122, 83, 157, and 166. And then his noble infantry, 9 and 47. But again, they were held in reserve towards the end of the game. Freddy NKA, Freddy Nika, I guess that's what it is. Freddy, whatever. Freddy NKA, I was going to say what it is. If I'm saying it wrong and you're watching this, I apologize. 1,806 kills. His general only getting 19. His onager getting 152. His elephants, unfortunately, only getting 38. Again, I feel like he brought the elephants in too soon and wasted the chance to really optimize what the elephants could have done. His Carthaginian Cav, 86 and 63. His Cretans, 3, 2, and 7. But again, they were using fire shot for the majority of the rounds. So they, unfortunately, I mean, they could have gotten so many more kills. But, you know, it is what it is. Everyone plays their own way. Libyan infantry, 245, 149, 58, 66, 123, 81, 41, 124. And then his noble fighters, 195, and 301. So pretty good for them. Lelek 666666 2,242 kills. General getting 12. His honors are getting 78. His Syrians 92, 101, and 120. Armored Legionaries 74, 89, and 123. Eagle Cohort 222, 194. Evocati 145, 72, and 214. Sorry, I'm really tired. And then his Praetorians 180, 174, and 22. And then his Triarii 178, 50, 39, and 63. Nand Varanand 1,905 kills. General getting 101. His onager only 42. His Cav, Egyptian Cav, getting 17. His Ptolemy Cav did pretty good, got 139 kills. His Cretans 80 and 172. His 1 unit Nubian Bowman, no kills actually, just got sent off the field of battle. His other one 106. Galatian Royal Guard 73 and 198. His Peltis 157 and 18. Is Royal Thorax Swords, 147, 118, 73, and 146. Thorax Pike, only 80. And then Thorax Swords, 72, 78, and his Three of Spears, 88. So, that's that. Again, I can't believe I missed the artillery strike with my one onager. Maybe I'll do a replay of this, but it'll be a short clip where I end up just absolutely just showing that one shot, because I couldn't believe it when it happened. And I said to my teammate, I was like, I just took out like more than half of his units of pikes with one shot. The building like destroyed it, and Dr. Patience was like, bruh, that's amazing. So that's going to be it for me for today. Please like, subscribe, leave a message, or a comment rather, and make sure to join my Discord if you have replays of yourselves that you would like to see, and I will happily cover them for you. Until then, this is Lichter saying, have a great afternoon, morning, evening, day, night, whatever time of day that it is for you right now. Have a good one. Peace out, gang.